The massive alien vessels descended silently over Earth's major cities, their metallic surfaces gleaming against the pale blue sky. Jae-sung Park watched from the Military Intelligence Command Center, his fingers tapping nervously against the reinforced glass window. The Zoran delegation arrived with promises of peace and technological exchange. Their representatives, tall and slender with iridescent skin, spoke perfect English through advanced translation devices. They claimed to have traveled across multiple star systems, seeking peaceful connections with emerging civilizations. Initial meetings seemed promising. World leaders gathered in Geneva, listening intently as the Zoran representatives described advanced energy technologies and medical breakthroughs. They presented holographic images of incredible scientific achievements, showing clean energy solutions and medical treatments that could potentially cure numerous human diseases. Jae-sung, however, remained skeptical. His years in military intelligence had taught him to look beyond surface appearances. Something about the Zoran delegation felt calculated, almost too perfect. During a private briefing, he shared his concerns with Hyejin Kim, a quantum communications specialist. Their communication patterns are too uniform, he explained, pointing to complex data streams captured during diplomatic exchanges. Every interaction feels scripted. Hyejin analyzed the communication logs, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. She noticed subtle patterns that seemed unusual, repetitive linguistic structures that suggested sophisticated programming rather than genuine communication. Weeks passed. The Zoran delegation continued their diplomatic tour, meeting with scientists, political leaders, and technological experts. They seemed genuinely interested in human culture, asking detailed questions about art, music, and social structures. But beneath this friendly exterior, something sinister was brewing. Military reconnaissance satellites began detecting unusual energy signatures around the alien ships. Strange electromagnetic pulses emerged intermittently, too complex to be simple communication signals. Specialized teams worked around the clock to decode these transmissions. Jae-sung's team discovered something alarming. Hidden within the seemingly benign communication streams were complex mapping algorithms. The Zorans were not just exploring, they were systematically scanning Earth's strategic locations, military installations, and resource-rich regions. One evening, during a late-night analysis session, Hyejin uncovered a breakthrough. Buried deep within the communication protocols were encrypted data packets revealing potential invasion preparation strategies. The peaceful delegation was nothing more than an elaborate reconnaissance mission. "They're planning something," Jae-sung muttered, reviewing the decoded information. "This isn't a diplomatic mission. It's a preparation for invasion." World leaders remained skeptical. The Zoran delegation had won significant trust through carefully orchestrated diplomatic maneuvers. Their technological demonstrations and promises of collaboration seemed too genuine to be a facade. Military leaders initiated quiet preparedness protocols. Advanced defense systems were placed on high alert. Specialized units began training for potential extraterrestrial conflict scenarios, though most considered it an extreme precaution. As global attention remained focused on the potential benefits of alien technology, Jae-sung and his team worked silently, gathering evidence and preparing contingency plans. The first signs of trouble came unexpectedly. Small orbital anomalies began appearing around Earth's strategic satellite networks. Communication disruptions increased. Military tracking systems detected subtle shifts in alien vessel positioning. Then, without warning, everything changed. The first attack came swiftly. Precision energy weapons targeted key military installations across multiple continents. Communication networks collapsed. Strategic defense systems experienced simultaneous shutdowns. The peaceful diplomatic mission had been nothing more than an elaborate preparation for invasion. Jae-sung's worst fears had been confirmed. The Zorans had never intended peaceful cooperation. Their entire mission was a carefully constructed plan to weaken human defenses and prepare for a full-scale invasion. As alarms blared and emergency protocols activated, one thing became clear: humanity was now in a fight for its very survival. The alien visitors had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated human resilience, adaptability, and the unbreakable spirit of a species pushed into a corner. The first contact had ended. The real conflict was about to begin. The world was in chaos. Burning cities and destroyed infrastructure painted a grim picture of the alien invasion. But humans, known for their resilience, began to fight back. Hyejin Kim worked tirelessly in a hidden underground research facility. Her team of scientists and engineers were developing ways to counter the Zaran technological superiority. They analyzed captured alien communication signals, searching for vulnerabilities. Military units that survived the initial attack regrouped in remote locations. Sung Ho Choi, a special operations commander, organized scattered military personnel into rapid response units. They used guerrilla tactics, striking quickly and disappearing before the alien forces could retaliate. Governments around the world abandoned traditional diplomatic channels. Emergency committees formed, bringing together military strategists, scientists, and technology experts. Their single goal was simple: survival and resistance. Technology became humanity's primary weapon. Research centers that once focused on theoretical concepts now became frontline development zones. Engineers worked around the clock, converting civilian technologies into advanced combat systems. Hyejin's breakthrough came unexpectedly. By analyzing the alien communication protocols, she discovered a critical weakness in their network synchronization. The Zaran technological systems relied on a centralized communication grid that could be disrupted. Her team developed a unique electromagnetic pulse weapon designed specifically to target alien communication frequencies. Initial tests showed promising results. When deployed, the device could temporarily blind alien navigation and communication systems. Sun Ho's special forces were the first to test these new weapons. In a daring night operation, they infiltrated a Zaran forward base. Using Hyejin's experimental device, they created a communication blackout, allowing them to gather critical intelligence and destroy key alien infrastructure. The resistance was not just a military effort. Civilians played crucial roles. Underground networks shared information, developed survival strategies, and supported local resistance movements. People who once worked in different professions, teachers, programmers, farmers, now became part of a global survival network. Global communication systems, though damaged, remained operational through improvised networks. Amateur radio operators, satellite hackers, and communication experts maintained critical information exchange channels. Universities transformed into research and training centers. Students learned advanced survival skills, basic combat techniques, and technological adaptation strategies. The entire education system shifted from theoretical learning to practical survival training. Agricultural experts developed quick-growth crop systems and sustainable food production methods. They understood that in this new world, food security was as important as military strength. The Zaran forces, expecting a quick conquest, found themselves facing an unexpected opponent. Humans didn't fight like any species they had encountered before. Their unpredictability, creativity, and willingness to adapt made them a formidable enemy. Sung Ho's special forces developed unconventional combat techniques. They used terrain advantages, psychological warfare, and rapid mobility to counter the technologically superior alien forces. Each mission was a careful blend of strategy, improvisation, and raw human determination. Hyejin's research team continued developing advanced countermeasures. They created adaptive communication encryption systems that could change frequencies faster than alien tracking systems could detect. They designed camouflage technologies that could fool alien sensors. The global resistance movement began sharing resources and intelligence. What started as isolated, local efforts transformed into a coordinated worldwide response. Countries that were once competitors now worked together, sharing technology, resources, and strategic information. Small victories began to emerge. A successful ambush here, a communication network disruption there. These weren't just military achievements, they were symbols of hope. They proved that humans could fight back, that surrender was not an option. Refugee camps became centers of innovation. People shared skills, developed survival technologies, and maintained hope. Children learned survival skills alongside traditional education. The entire human society was transforming. As weeks turned into months, the resistance grew stronger. The Zoran forces, initially confident of a quick victory, found themselves increasingly frustrated. Each attack became more difficult, each conquest more costly. Humanity had begun its fight. The resistance was not just about survival, it was about proving that when pushed into a corner, humans could become the most dangerous species in the universe. The real war was just beginning, the tide of war was changing. Human resistance had evolved from desperate survival to calculated strategic attacks. Sung Ho Choi stood in the underground command center, analyzing holographic maps of alien supply routes. Deun Kwan, the advanced weapons engineer, had developed a series of innovative technological solutions. Her team created nanite-based infiltration systems that could disrupt alien communication networks from within. These microscopic machines could penetrate complex alien technological defenses, causing widespread system failures. The first major counterattack began with a series of coordinated strikes against Zoran supply lines. Human Special Forces teams used advanced stealth technologies developed by Deun's research group. They moved like ghosts, striking critical alien infrastructure and disappearing before full retaliation could be mounted. Satellite networks, partially restored through improvised human technology, provided crucial intelligence. Every alien movement was tracked, analyzed, and used to plan strategic interventions. The humans were no longer just defending, they were hunting. Sung Ho's tactical approach focused on psychological warfare. They understood that the Zoran forces had never encountered an enemy like humans before. Where other species might surrender, humans became more determined when challenged. Intelligence teams discovered a critical weakness in the Zoran military structure. Their centralized command system meant that targeted strikes could cause massive disruptions. Each successful attack didn't just destroy equipment, it created cascading failures across their entire network. Deun's most significant breakthrough came with a quantum communication jamming device. Unlike previous attempts, this technology could completely blind alien communication systems for extended periods. It was like creating invisible walls in their most critical communication channels. The counterattack wasn't just about military strategy. Hyejin Kim's communication research team developed advanced disinformation campaigns. They created false communication signals that confused and misdirected alien forces, making them waste resources on non-existent threats. Refugee communities became unexpected sources of resistance. People from different backgrounds, engineers, farmers, teachers, contributed unique perspectives to the war effort. They developed innovative survival and combat techniques that traditional military training could never have imagined. Small teams of special forces began conducting deep penetration missions into alien-controlled territories. They gathered critical intelligence, sabotaged key infrastructure, and demonstrated that no alien location was truly safe from human intervention. The Zoran leadership began to realize they had severely underestimated human capabilities. What they had considered a simple planetary conquest was turning into a complex, unpredictable conflict. Sung Ho's most daring operation targeted the alien command center on the dark side of the moon. Using a combination of stealth technology and carefully planned infiltration, his team managed to penetrate the most secure alien facility. The mission wasn't just about gathering intelligence. It was a psychological blow to the Zoran forces. Humans had reached their most secure location, proving that no barrier was impenetrable. Deun's weapons team developed adaptive combat systems that could learn and adjust in real time. These AI-powered defense mechanisms could predict and counter alien attack patterns faster than human commanders could react. Global communication networks, though fragmented, became a weapon. Amateur radio operators, satellite hackers, and communication experts shared real-time intelligence. What the Zoran forces saw as chaos, humans transformed into a distributed intelligence network. The counterattack wasn't just about military might. It was about proving that human creativity, adaptability, and determination could overcome technological superiority. Agricultural experts developed rapid response food production systems. They understood that sustainable resources were as crucial to the war effort as advanced weapons. Vertical farming, hydroponics, and genetically modified crops became key survival strategies. As the counterattack progressed, something remarkable happened. The initial fear that had gripped humanity transformed into a unified sense of purpose. People who were once strangers now worked together with a single goal: survival and victory. Sun Ho watched the holographic displays, seeing multiple successful missions light up across the strategic map. The Zoran forces were no longer an unstoppable threat. They were a problem to be solved, a challenge to be overcome. The human counterattack had begun. And it was proving to be more devastating than the aliens could have ever imagined. The conflict had transformed into a full-scale interstellar war. Humanity's survival now depended on total commitment and unrelenting determination. Advanced AI combat systems developed by human engineers became the backbone of the military strategy. These intelligence systems could process battle scenarios faster than any biological intelligence, predicting and countering alien tactical movements with incredible precision. Sun Ho Choi coordinated massive global operations from a secure underground command center. Holographic displays showed multiple battlefronts across different star systems. Each green marker represented a human victory, each red marker a potential threat. Daun Quan's latest weapon system proved to be a game-changer. Quantum encrypted communication networks allowed human forces to communicate without detection. Adaptive combat drones could change tactics mid-battle, learning and responding to alien technological defenses in milliseconds. The war was no longer confined to Earth. Human military forces had developed faster-than-light travel capabilities, allowing them to strike alien supply lines and strategic positions across multiple star systems. The Zoran Collective found themselves fighting an enemy that could appear anywhere, anytime. Psychological warfare became a critical component of human strategy. Intelligence teams discovered that the Zoran forces had never encountered an enemy willing to sacrifice so much, adapt so quickly, and fight with such unpredictability. Refugee communities transformed into critical support networks. People who once worked in different professions now contributed directly to the war effort. Engineers designed new technologies, medical teams developed advanced treatment protocols, and communication experts created complex intelligence networks. Space became the primary battlefield. Human spacecraft, equipped with advanced stealth technologies and adaptive combat systems, could engage alien vessels with unprecedented effectiveness. Each battle taught humanity new tactics, new ways of surviving and fighting. Hyejin Kim's communication research team developed breakthrough technologies that could completely disrupt alien technological systems. Their quantum communication jammers could create temporary blind spots in alien defense networks, allowing strategic human interventions. The Zoran leadership began to realize they had made a catastrophic mistake. Humanity was not a simple planetary conquest. They were facing a species that transformed challenges into opportunities, that could adapt faster than any technological solution could counter. Advanced medical technologies allowed rapid treatment of combat injuries. Nanoregenerative systems could repair human soldiers faster than traditional medical approaches. Every wounded soldier could return to battle, increasing the overall human combat effectiveness. Global resources were completely redirected toward the war effort. Economic systems that once focused on consumer goods now produced advanced military technologies. Every industry became a potential weapon in the fight for survival. Sun Ho's special forces conducted increasingly complex missions. They didn't just fight, they systematically dismantled alien infrastructure. Each successful operation was a psychological blow to the Zoran Collective, demonstrating human capability and determination. Artificial intelligence systems became more than just combat tools. They were strategic partners, capable of analyzing complex scenarios and developing innovative solutions. The line between human and machine intelligence blurred in the face of total war. Space colonies, initially established as scientific outposts, became critical military bases. Humans had transformed from a planetary species to an interstellar fighting force in a matter of months. Daun's weapons research continued to produce breakthrough technologies. Adaptive camouflage systems could make entire human fleets invisible to alien detection systems. Quantum entanglement communication allowed instantaneous information exchange across vast distances. The Zoran Collective's technological superiority became increasingly irrelevant. Humans had discovered that creativity, adaptability, and determination were more powerful than any advanced technological system. Psychological research teams developed advanced training protocols that could prepare soldiers for the extreme mental challenges of interstellar warfare. Human willpower became the most significant weapon in the conflict. As the war progressed, something remarkable happened. The initial fear that had gripped humanity transformed into a unified sense of purpose. Every human, regardless of background, understood the stakes of the conflict. Sunho watched the holographic displays, seeing human forces advancing across multiple star systems. The Zoran Collective was no longer an unstoppable threat. They were a problem to be solved, a challenge to be overcome. Total war had begun. And humanity was proving to be an enemy beyond anything the aliens could have imagined. The final confrontation arrived with a silence more deafening than any battle cry. Jason Park stood on the command deck of the most advanced human battleship, watching the Zoran Collective's final stronghold approach. Years of war had transformed humanity. What began as a planetary defense had become an interstellar crusade. Every human understood the stakes. Survival was no longer an option, but a guaranteed outcome. The Zoran leadership, once confident of their technological superiority, now faced total destruction. Their communication networks were in ruins, their advanced technologies rendered useless by human adaptability. Sunho Choi led the final assault team. His specially trained units had spent years studying alien tactics, developing strategies that turned the Zoran's own technological advantages against them. Each soldier carried adaptive combat systems that could change tactics faster than alien computers could process. Hyejin Kim's communication disruption technologies created massive blind spots in the alien defense networks. What seemed like random interference was actually a carefully orchestrated plan to completely isolate the Zoran command structure. The battle was unlike anything in human or alien history. Quantum encrypted communication networks allowed human forces to coordinate with unprecedented precision. Adaptive AI systems predicted and countered alien movements before they could be executed. Massive space battles erupted across multiple star systems. Human ships, once considered primitive, now moved with a grace and unpredictability that terrified the Zoran commanders. Each engagement demonstrated how far humanity had come. Deunquan's final weapon system proved to be the ultimate game-changer. Nanite-based infiltration technologies could completely disable entire alien technological infrastructures within minutes. The Zorans watched in horror as their most advanced systems collapsed from within. The Global Defense Council watched from Earth, coordinating the final stages of the conflict. What had started as a desperate planetary defense had become a full-scale interstellar campaign of survival and retribution. Survivors from early invasion zones now served as critical intelligence assets. Their experiences had transformed humanity's understanding of alien technologies and psychological warfare. The Zoran leadership's final communication was a desperate plea. They offered complete surrender, hoping to preserve some remnant of their civilization. But humanity had learned that mercy could be a fatal weakness. Jae-sung Park made the final decision. The assault would be total and complete. No alien infrastructure would remain operational. The message would be clear: humanity would never again be a target for conquest. Specialized teams moved through alien command centers. They weren't just destroying technology, they were systematically eliminating any possibility of future resistance. Each destroyed system was a testament to human determination. The psychological impact was devastating. The Zoran Collective had believed humans to be a simple, conquerable species. Instead, they faced a civilization that had transformed total war into an art form of survival and retribution. Space itself seemed to tremble with the intensity of the final confrontation. Human forces moved with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. Every tactical decision was a calculated stroke of genius. As the final alien stronghold collapsed, something profound happened. Humanity realized it had become more than just a planetary species. They were now a true interstellar civilization, forged in the fires of an impossible war. The Global Defense Council began immediate preparations for the aftermath. New interstellar protocols would ensure that no alien species would ever again consider humanity a potential conquest. Sun Ho Choi watched the final moments of destruction. Years of struggle, millions of lives lost, entire planets devastated, all had led to this moment of total victory. Communication networks across human-controlled space erupted in celebration. But it was a somber joy, a recognition of the incredible journey humanity had undergone. Jae-sung Park knew this was more than just a victory. It was a transformation. Humanity had proven itself not just as survivors, but as the most adaptable, determined species in the known universe. The Zaran Collective was no more. And the galaxy would forever remember the day humans showed that technological superiority meant nothing against true determination. The reckoning was complete. Humanity had survived.